Hi, my name is Hannah. I am not a makeup artist, but I love Jesus and I love makeup. And I had a summer project that I wanted to do to film the makeup tutorials that I love and I do every day. And so here's the first one. And if you'd like to see how I did this, please keep watching. Let's get started. I didn't think it was going to be a talk through, but we're going to make it a talk through this morning. First, I'm starting off with a primer. This is the NYX primer. First base or something. First base primer. Baptized. Absolutely baptized. Oh, Lord. I forgot my beauty blender. All right, back with my beauty blender that is absolutely disgusting with how much makeup has been put on it. I promise I've cleaned it, but it's been stained. Literally stained. And now I need a mirror. I'm going to use my old Buxom palette I made to be my mirror. So I like to just slab on my foundation and then kind of blend it after. Just like get it on there. Should be noted that I am absolutely not a professional makeup artist. But I love makeup. I love experimenting. So when I get to the blending stage, I just start patting a lot, trying to blend it out a bit. It's actually really intense at being right in my face. But I figure you should be able to kind of see, which is the same reason I'm trying to use natural light, because I, again, am not an actual beauty person, like on YouTube. So I do not have lights or a good camera or anything like that. But we're going for it because we can. I did not show you what foundation I used. The sticker is completely off of it, but I used the Revlon Color Stay. I'm going to color correct using the Concealer Twins. Oh, you absolutely cannot see that. Concealer Twins by Physicians Formula. And I used the yellow one because if you put yellow on purple, it cancels it out. And I have the worst under eye circles. I was born with them. People who are born with bad under eye purple circles usually have really bad allergies. In this case, it's true, I have really bad allergies. Okay, after I have that set, I like to use a concealer brush because I found that I was actually not really getting it well blended underneath my eye when I was using my finger. So I start off with a concealer brush. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm blending it out. It's not perfect right now. Just trying to get a good color payout because I am very purple under my eyes. After I feel like I've blended it semi-well, I will press it with my finger to try to get any color I do not need off there. Now you will note that my under eye will look yellow. This is what I want. Oh, I used to this. I just poke myself in the eye. Whew. Voila. Now I look like, I don't even know how to describe looking yellow underneath your eyes. But I promise it does not stay this way. I now take my concealer. My favorite one is the Instant Age Rewind by Maybelline. I love this concealer. It's the only thing that doesn't crease on me. And because, I think it's because it tends to be water-based rather than really like creamy. Creamy stuff just like, because I have actually folds underneath my eyes a little bit. Like when I smile, you can see them. That was so creepy. But it tends to crease there. And I think a lot of other people have problems like me because I have deep set eyes really far back. So I tend to use this. I just go over and then I actually bring it down in a triangle. I usually go over on my eyelid to kind of do, and then any other imperfections, like any other little blemishes, I'll do a little bit of this. I like to put some underneath my nose to blend out. And any other discolorations I'm not happy with. Now, it should be noted that right now I don't have any redness on my face. If I had redness, I use a green concealer before doing this step. For this one, I also use my concealer brush, the same one because YOLO. It was time to get another concealer brush. And I start by going around the eye. But then I use my finger pretty much for everything else and I pat. Pat, 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 pat. I like to use the concealer brush around my nose for those blood vessels. I'll get up there where I put some up there. Ta-da! All right, so far we have almost, our base is almost done. I know it takes forever. I'm gonna be using a powder brush and my very trusty and cracked Covergirl Professional Loose Powder, Translucent Fair. Ooh, this stuff is messy. It's super cheap though, which is why I get it. It works well and it's super cheap, so what do I care about the packaging? What I do with this is after I dip it into the very messy powder, which I'm like afraid to show because my packaging is so bad, after I get just a tiny bit and I kind of tap it off, then I go for it around the face. I especially am careful with any places I really conceal, but again, I'm having really good skin from being in the summer. I'm an acne prone person. I'll even get there. I'll get the nose really carefully back and forth, underneath. Powder's going everywhere. I'll get underneath the eye. I'm gonna use something else under there too, and make sure you get your chin. What this does is even if you hate powder, sorry, you should probably use it at least a little bit because it sets your makeup. Okay, now our base is done and I'm gonna go ahead and keep going with it. I actually might do my eyebrows first because I like to get that kind of settled. Okay, so I brush them. This is, it's totally rubbed off. I'll figure it out. And it's just your average eyebrow pencil. I have very thick eyebrows already, so I don't really go to a lot of trouble of shaping them. I kind of fill them out because I like to keep my eyebrow hairs short in order to, so that they don't fly everywhere. And sometimes this leaves little patches like in right here. So eyebrows for me are not usually a very big deal, which I suppose is a blessing. Thank you, Jesus, for some eyebrow hair. I'm now using, a L'Oreal. I love this L'Oreal Paris Brow Stylist Plumper. This stuff is the most amazing stuff ever. I heard it from a different makeup tutorial. I'm like, it's cheap. Let me try it. Oh my gosh, it's the best stuff ever. I like to just shimmy it to keep those brows in place. Shimmy, shimmy. Especially my very long brows at the end, my very long hairs. But anyway, my devotion was on us being created for a specific purpose, to love others, to show Christ to others. I absolutely loved it. In high school, it was really hard for me because I just did not feel beautiful. I didn't feel like I was created for a purpose. Go back in with my brush, just kind of make sure that's exactly how I want it, nice and clean. But after I gave my heart to Christ and I started reading all these beautiful scriptures about us being created in God's image, it was really like just very helpful for me. I love this NYX palette. You can probably tell. Look how just awful it looks now, but that means it's well loved. It even broke. But I love it. It's the highlight and contour palette, and I'm going to be using the yellow color with a little bit of this, like, I don't even know, it's damaged white powder. And I'm going to be using my buffer brush, and I'm going to be going, I turn my brush sideways and I go underneath, and that just kind of helps out things. So know today that you are beautiful the way you are. You don't have to wear makeup to feel beautiful. I just love makeup. I think everybody has been created in a wonderful way and is cute and beautiful. And coffee break. It helps you also to stop fixating on things. I always fixated on my chin and my nose and all that stuff. And I don't really anymore. I kind of like how the Lord created me, quirks and all. I'm going to go in with the Pixi Lumilux bronzing palette. It looks like this. And I'm going to take my bronzing brush because I am pale as death. 4 horsemen come in. I'm as pale as them, clothed in white. My first student actually joked that I was a vampire because I never saw the sun. So I kind of do that. I do a little whoop right around the face. Is it correct? Who knows? But it works for me, and it defines the cheekbones I do have. And I go underneath my chin. Sometimes I just go crazy. I want that glow. I especially like the glow on my forehead. I don't know why. I think if you put bronzer or any darkness on your forehead, it makes it look smaller. And then I go in with my contour brush. And my contour, 2 contour shades, I use Bam and Bam. I mix them together. Do the fishy lips. Find your line, kind of go over it straight. Make sure that you don't try to muddy it up. What I like to do is, because this is usually stronger, I just take it up kind of all the way around. I'm using my Rimmel Luminoso Baked Powder Blush. These are so amazing. These are so pigmented and so beautiful, and they are so cheap. And then I got this blush by Model Co. The color Cosmopolitan. I got it free somewhere, and I really like it. It's a very pink shade, and I like to just stick it right in the middle, you know. I like blush. I like to have some color to my face. I know it might look like a lot, but once you do your eye makeup, it ends up not being a lot. This is like the most amazing thing ever. My aunt just got me when I was with her. It's Too Faced Love Light, Blinded by the Light, and I always joke on my highlighter to highlight to heaven. I want Jesus to see it from heaven right now. Well, he's here with me, but you know, you can see it from heaven too. And I just like stick that here with a little, I don't even think this is a highlight brush, but I use it as such. Right there in your Cupid's bow. I like to tip of my nose and highlight down my nose and underneath my eyebrows. Basically anywhere you can glow, I just go for it. I even put some on my chin. My e.l.f. eyeshadow brush and BT dubs. You should probably clean your brushes. I totally don't, but I should. I stick that right there in the corners, Ice Queen. And then underneath, I like to look awake. I'm using my new Beige Cosmetics Neutral Eyes palette. And I'm going to start. By the way, I don't know what these colors, I haven't really played around with them as much, but I'm going to start with the lightest shade here. If you have very deep set eyes like me, ooh, I love the pigmentation. Oh my gosh, this stuff is amazing. Sorry for it being messy, I'm not using a mirror. So cheap too. I think this whole palette was 14 bucks. If not 12. It was something like around there from Ulta. That's just amazing. If you have hooded eyes, you put a lighter color on your lid. Hooded eyes is like deep set eyes, where the skin on the top of your brow bone here, it tends to come over your lid. You can shadow, but it can be difficult. You've got to play around with it. But I usually, to be easy, put a light shadow on my eyelid, and then I kind of shadow this corner and I shadow the crease. I'll show you what I mean there. So I'm going to be taking, I think this is a contouring brush, but I do not use it as that. In my Buxom palette, I actually created this, so I'm going to have to figure out what color this is, but it's an orangish color. You can use any kind of orange, bronzish color, and you're going to stick it in your crease area. And after I do that, I will use an eyeshadow brush, any old eyeshadow brush, and pick a darker color. What do I want to use today? I think I'm going to use a mixture of this warm and this dark. And I'm going to put it on the outside of my eye here, and you might be like, whoa, Nelly, you're not blending that out at all. Heck, no, not right now. I'm not blending it out. I'm just sticking it on there. It shapes my eyes out. I know I have kind of big eyes, but it shapes them out a little bit better. I'm going to take kind of a blending brush, and my favorite two colors for my crease, and you can tell I use my Naked 3 palette, and I love this color and this color. I'm kind of hitting pan on both of them. And I actually go down to this color and I blend it out and bring it up. Blend it out, bring it up. I am by far no master at blending. This is a very easy way, and it always seems to work for me. I go there, I blend it out and up. Blend it out and up. I think it tends to work pretty well. I don't get anyone being like, what happened to your eyeshadow? I also like to bring it underneath my eye here. Sweet. Okay. I tend to like to use my eyeshadow brush too. Any color that you put on top, you kind of want to mirror on the bottom, or you're going to look a little funky. So I'm going to take that lighter shade for my Beige Cosmetics palette, and I'm going to go right in the center of my eye. I feel like this looks messier than usual. Sorry, it's because I'm trying to do it towards the screen. Okay, my eyeshadow for me is done. What you want to do at this point is take a flesh colored eye pencil, go underneath your eye. Be careful not to necessarily pull here. I like to go down to my cheek and pull down to be more gentle on my under eye. And I go like that. And what this will do is it will open up your eyes. If you have small eyes, it will make them look bigger. Sorry, this is like probably not very attractive, but then you can see the result. Bam. And then I'm going to be taking my Starlooks Obsidian, but you can just use any old black eyeliner. And man, this is going to be a little challenging. I put my finger here. My eyes still don't like this. And I actually carry it above. And it's important that you keep your finger up. I tried to not do that because you want to get close to your lash line. I take my liquid liner, and I really need to do this in a mirror. I only do this above the eye. And I fill in where I put the crayon a little. It's important to note that you want thicker in the middle and thinner on each side. Similar. Usually I do a little wing. Let me just try that. What you do is you kind of like draw up towards your brow. And as you can tell, there's not a lot of product on my applicator. I like it that way because you gotta wipe it off. It's a lot easier if you don't have to wipe off tons of product. I'm pretty happy that those are similar. And then I go from the corner of where I drew, I make a little line and I connect it to the rest of my wing. And I meant eyeliner, but it's really hard to talk when you're doing this. And then you got a little wing going there. Boop, boop. Okay. So I have my wings, my eyeliner. They're pretty similar. Usually they end up being kind of more like sisters and not twins. But hey, people don't usually judge too much if your eyeliner is not completely perfect on both sides. But it's pretty close. I'm happy with it for now. So then afterwards, after it kind of dries, this side I worked on more, so I'm going to take my eyelash curler. I'm going to be using a technique that probably nobody in their right mind would use if they were a makeup artist. So I curl my lashes like so. About 15 seconds you press down. After you curl your lashes, I take my voluminous feline mascara. This is from L'Oreal, which I happen to love their mascaras the most of the drugstore brands. I shimmy back and forth, shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. If you get it underneath your eyes, you can use a concealer. Now, after I put mascara on, I use my curler again. And I curl on my wet lashes. You've got to be very careful with this. You've got to clean your curler a lot so you don't end up transferring mascara everywhere. And you kind of have to pull back towards your eye. You can see that they look a lot more curled. And then I go over them again because, you know, you can never have enough mascara. All right. I think I've pretty much finished. What I like to do for some added oomph to my eye is I take my, what do you call this? Crayon? No, pencil. And I go right up to the eyelashes and I give some definition down here. Again, you can use your finger. So again, right here. Just halfway. And it will open up your eyes, make your eyes look bigger. Last is today I'm wearing a super, super bright Clinique lipstick that someone gave me. It's in Cherry Pop. It's like an orange red, which I'm wearing a blue dress. I think it will really pop. Now I'm not using a lip liner, so you gotta be really careful. I start at the middle and then I go to the line. Because you need some courage. You need to be like quoting Joshua in your mind when you're like going for the actual lip line. Like, be strong and courageous. Be strong. The reason for that is usually with red lipstick, you can't really get away with trying to get it to be not where you want it to be. It kind of smears everywhere and it's like, oh my gosh. Lip liners usually you should use, but who has time for that? Okay, this is the completed makeup look. It's pretty simple, but I like it. So thanks for tuning in. God bless you, and we'll see you next time.